This is not looking like a good year for anyone named Andrew. Andrew Tate has been tossed in jail, and recently Andrew Callaghan has been accused of essay. So if you guys don't know Andrew Callaghan, he used to be the host of this channel, All Gas No Brakes.
White Claw!
It was a huge channel, everyone loved him, but then he started his own channel, Channel 5, and the channel is blowing up. I would say probably one of my favorite channels to watch on YouTube. He also just came out with a documentary movie on HBO, which is huge, called This Place Rules. But now if you type his name in, or even type in the name of his documentary, first thing that pops up is about his sexual misconduct allegations. This is very truly upsetting, but there's been a couple of accounts of people accusing him of sexual misconduct, and they have videos that they posted on TikTok that blew up. So on January 5th, a TikTok user posted a TikTok accusing Andrew of sexual coercion in March of 2021. I've been looking into this story for about 3 days. I was in Vegas when I found out about it, and I've been listening and watching and seeing what happens, and now it seems like there has been a response from Andrew, so I'm going to go through the story from the beginning.
I never in a million years thought that I would be making this video, and I'm shaking because I've tried a couple different times and haven't been able to get my point across, but I don't like seeing abusers get platforms. And my abuser, Andrew Callaghan, also known as All Gas No Brakes, Channel 5, and whatever his new HBO show's called, I forget, has been plastered all over my news feed, and I've tried to come to him person to person and try to get him to take accountability for what he did, but his version of what happened the night that he assaulted me is so skewed. So I will tell you that he did eventually get consent. And that's the main point, is that he eventually got consent because he wore me down. He told me he needed a place to stay for the night. He had some sort of falling out with one of his crew members or whatever, and I was very clear about the fact that we are not hooking up. He gets in my bed and wears me down to the point where I eventually do agree to do things that I wasn't proud of. And I wasn't proud of them and thought it was my fault for so long that I continued to be nice to him after the situation. He wouldn't leave my house the next morning. And then as time went on and I processed things, I thought, you know what, just because eventually I said, okay, whatever, because I was trying to just get the whole night over with so that it could be morning so that he could leave, it doesn't discount the fact that I told him no. I told him no so many times prior to this. I said, I'm tired, I'm not really feeling it. I came up with any excuse that I possibly could to just get him off of me. And he still found a way to coerce me into things that I didn't want to do. And this is really hard for me to say. I never thought I would come forward, but it's even more hard to have to relive the trauma that I endured every single day by seeing this man as a social justice warrior, as someone who cares about human rights, get a platform. You shouldn't be supporting him. And at the end of the day, like, I've told close friends of mine, I've tried coming out about this before, and he texted me saying that it basically ruined his life and that his life was over now because of things that I said, and other women have come forward to me, but this is my first time publicly talking about it on a platform like TikTok because I hope it gets traction. I hope people listen to me. I hope that if something similar has happened to you, that you know that that's not your fault. It wasn't my fault what happened to me. Just because I eventually...
She was the first person that came out with this story recently, and because of her story, she got 10 different DMs from other people saying that something similar happened to them. People have been posting this on Reddit. This was from 2021. Since this subreddit seems divided on Andrew Callaghan and allegations, I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention, look at the date this was posted. This is from 2021. Trigger warning, mentions of essay, description of essay. I think this is important to the point where screenshots on Instagram will not be enough to bring attention to this. He knowingly essayed my friend and got away with it. Please stop supporting his show. Unfollow him. He's around Tampa and St. Pete a lot. You have probably met him. Please protect the women of your community. Like I said, this is 2 years ago. I have people reply saying they have also had uncomfortable and forced situations with him in the past in different states. Clearly, he is a serial abuser. Be careful. The person that posted these stories got this DM. Hey, this is kind of random, but we don't know each other, but I saw your post reposted from Andrew Callaghan. I've known him for a long time, and I know he's done this to at least 3 girls, all in different cities, most underage. He was on this podcast I really like, and I feel compelled to reach out to the host or something, so I'm just trying to get more information. You definitely don't need to tell me any specifics at all. I'm just wondering if whoever this happened to was underage and if it was in New Orleans or Nashville. Totally understandable if you are uncomfortable. I just need to do something. I'm tired of seeing this happen to many people. So after Cornbread Casserole came out with a story and people started reposting old stories from 2021, this channel here, Moldy Freckle, is another person who came forward with allegations.
So I told him I would take him home because he lived close by, but that I did not want to have sex in my car.
Before I start her video, let me read this for context here. Her story starts on January 29th, 2019. Oh, that's even further back. That's when she first DM'd Andrew thinking he was cute and he responded. From there, she would meet up with Andrew occasionally for sex, but only when she was extremely drunk. After knowing him a bit, she began to feel Andrew gave off bad vibes, being mean and sexually demanding. And one day, Andrew messaged her again to hang out and she refused, explaining she didn't like that type of person he was. Andrew said he wanted to apologize, so she reluctantly did accept a date. On the date, he proceeds to barely apologize and continually ask her to have sex with him in her car. When she refuses, he then asks her for a ride home. Okay, so that's exactly when the story begins.
At all. I did not want to have sex with him again, ever. And after we got to my car, he started advancing towards me, started touching my inner thigh, and pulled me forward and started kissing my neck. So I really couldn't move out of the position. He was holding me like tightly, and he proceeded to put his hand down my pants. I told him to stop. I told him to get off of me multiple times. He tried to put my hand down his pants, and I was, fighting against him during this. Told him to please stop. And he said, you could at least suck my dick. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. Get out of my car. At that point, it was, I'm not taking you home anymore. Get the fuck out of my car. And he just got mad, really. He was mad that I would even say that, but at the same time, he was laughing at me and continued to try to kiss me and was like, are you serious? Come on, come on. Yeah, it was not fun. So I told him to get out of my car again. He wouldn't get out. And he said, you could at least take me home. So I realized at this point, I would not be able to physically push him out of my car. So I started driving quickly and erratically down the road. I pulled into a busier street and I stopped abruptly, thinking, maybe someone will realize something is wrong, or if someone is honking at me, he'll feel uncomfortable and want to leave the car. But I guess it did make him uncomfortable that I did that, and I told him to get the fuck out of my car. And he was like, can I at least get a kiss goodbye? And I said, fuck no, get the fuck out. He left. Never spoke to him or saw him again.
The person we just saw, Moldy Freckle on TikTok, her friend came out with a story also, and let me set it up by saying this. The last story was posted on January 7th and takes place in New Orleans late 2019, early 2020. A friend of Moldy Freckle came forward and spoke about his own partner's interactions with Andrew while she was 17 in college while Andrew was 22. She describes how she and her friends went to hang out with him one day. He took them to a local abandoned Navy base. Okay, and then I'm gonna read the messages that they said. All of her names have been redacted so people don't go to follow her on Instagram. But she says, my freshman year, he DM'd blank, 17, and asked to hang out with us. We met up with him and he brought us to the Navy base and got weirdly possessive over me, grabbing me all day weirdly and kept trying to keep me alone even though we were with a small group of all 17, barely 18-year-olds. He diddly told me he wouldn't go for me because of how young I was. Then me and blank made the decision that he was getting too weird with me and we tried ditching him. We took an Uber to the Willow. We left, and then Andrew took his own Uber to the same place. He kept going into the bar and buying me shots, then pulled me around the corner and forcibly tried to make out with me until my roommate noticed and ran over and stopped him. Then he got her to go away again and kept telling him I had a boyfriend. I did at the time. And he said, it's cool, I haven't a long distance girlfriend, we are open. Do you want to have a threesome with us when she comes to town next week? And kept me in a little corner, pushing me about until my roommate's boyfriend came over, 18, and tried to fight his 22-year-old. Then we finally broke away and decided to walk home, just the two of us, and he followed us by himself halfway back to the dorms until we literally sprinted and ran away from him. Here's another allegation from Andrew Callaghan back in June of 2020. Someone posted this on their story. Just more context on the last post. Hung out with All Gas No Breaks last night as he was in Nashville, and he was trying so hard to F my drunk friend who made it clear she said no. And she says that he was trying to use his platform to get girls to sleep with him. He's currently touring and living in an RV, so watch out if he comes to your city. And she came back with another video with receipts this time. I haven't seen this yet.
In regards to the whole Andrew Callaghan situation, this is the last time that I'm going to be talking about it. A friend of mine texted and asked if I was okay because she saw my post on Reddit. That wasn't me that posted on Reddit. I'm getting a lot of hate. You guys seem to need receipts. You know, someone speaking up about their story isn't enough, so I'm going to share with you some, evidence that I was with him that night. I didn't have a camera set up in my bedroom, so I don't know what to tell you. You're just going to have to take my word for it, and if you don't, that's okay. This is the last time I'm ever going to talk about this. And I've made my TikTok private, so if anyone wants to share what I'm saying with the people on Reddit, feel free to do that, but I can't mentally handle this anymore. This was Andrew and I agreeing to hang out when he was in St. Pete. This was us the night at the bar. We went into the bathroom to take a photo because this bar, the bathroom has its own Instagram page, and it's just something people do at that bar. Also, like I said many times before, I trusted him, and people are blaming me for trusting him, and I did, and it is what it is. This is a comment from someone who I've been speaking with about what happened to her. This is a message I got about a year ago from someone who said that he has been known to associate with underage girls. This is the story from the same person of her experience. You can pause to read any of this stuff. This is about how he was canceled on his French Quarter confession show when he went to Loyola because of the same sorts of allegations. You can pause to read that. Just another story. He's got a list of women who he gets to give him head. Another instance of sexual assault. And I'm keeping these people private, and they've all consented to me sharing their stories. And I'm doing so because I've already put my face out there. I'm already getting all the hate. It is what it is at this point. There's another story. More people saying that they've heard about this before. Another story. My inbox is flooded with people saying that they are proud of me for speaking up because they're too scared to, so I'm sharing their stories for them. This is absolutely taking a huge toll on my mental health. I can see that a lot of you don't want to believe women when they come forward about things, and I've just got to say that says a lot about your personality and who you are. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do, and if you think I'm making it up, that's on you.
Ethan Klein from H3H3, he's friends with Andrew Callaghan, and he's been doing a members only stream, and he's been doing it live in his basement, and people kept asking him about Andrew Callaghan, and he said that he spoke with him, and Andrew actually admitted it.
He told me he was at a psych ward. He was not doing well, and he was having panic attacks and stuff. And I first of all wanted to make sure that he was safe, that he wasn't going to hurt himself, that
This is Ethan talking about having a conversation with Andrew.
he was with people that cared about him. Obviously, I don't want him to die. I'm hoping none of y'all think he should die for this, do you? And so I did confirm that he's doing okay. So that was a relief to me. Again, I'm not defending him, and I believe those victims 100% since they came out with their videos. Well, what I was going to say before y'all jumping to conclusions is that he confirmed what they're saying is true. Okay? Y'all fucking, you know what I mean? He confirmed that he knew the girls and that he had encounters with them. So right out the bat, you know what I mean? He was pretty open, and basically that's what I wanted to hear, right? Like he confirmed that this stuff basically happened.
And then finally, I guess this is the last part of this story because this is all the information that I have. Andrew responds to sexual misconduct claims saying alleged victims asked for money. So I think his rep talked to TMZ, and this is what it says. Andrew Callaghan, the all gas no brakes, I don't know why they keep referring to him as this, host and star of HBO's new documentary This Place Rules, is responding to the sexual misconduct allegations against him, claiming one of the alleged victims asked him for serious dough before making her accusation public. I actually have the messages, so we'll look at those in a second. A legal rep for the journalist tells TMZ Andrew is devastated that he is being accused of the type of physical or mental coercion against anyone. Conversation about pressure and consent are extremely important, and Andrew wants to have these conversations so he can continue to learn and grow. So I guess he told Ethan in private that
he confirmed that this stuff basically happened.
But now when he goes to his rep, he's trying to make it seem like it's less of a thing than it really is, especially since his documentary just came out, adding, while every dynamic is open to interpretation, classic journalistic move, and proper communication is critical from all those involved, repeated requests for money should not be a part of these conversations. So these are the text messages here. The friend of this girl is the one who posted this. This is to Andrew on December 30th. So this is right before she came out with her video on TikTok. I really don't want a response from you because I already know your skewed version of what happened that last time I saw you. I just want you to know that seeing friends of mine promote your new show, which I'm not discounting came with a lot of hard work, hurts me in ways I wish you could feel sometimes. Anyways, if HBO cuts you a fat check and you in any way feel like helping contribute to the massive amount of therapy bills I have accrued due to the night you've coerced me and the resulting trauma, my Venmo is blank. Thanks. Seems more like an FU text more than a blackmail text. That's all the information that I have currently. I don't think there's been any other statements. Just because one person asked for money, I don't think that all of the other stories are fake. I believe all of the people that came out. People on Twitter are very upset, but it seems like most people do believe these victims, which is good.
I have an experience with Andrew Callaghan that corroborates some of the other women's stories that are coming forward.
I haven't seen this.
2020 in Los Angeles, and Andrew invited me to the bar, the Golden Gopher. I met up with him and some friends, and then afterwards we went to a house party. We were drinking the whole time, obviously. He wanted to come back to my house afterwards, where I remember repeatedly telling him that I just wanted to be friends, that I didn't want to take it to that point anymore. And he repeatedly asked me and pressured me into having sex or giving him a blowjob. He pressured me to the point to where I did give in. I just wanted to share that to help support some of the other victims that are coming forward. And this is the receipt. Here are the messages from that night.
Oh, more DMs. I guess that's it. I'll be back with a video that's a lot less depressing next time, hopefully. So I see you soon.